Hey, how's it going? I'm now passing the spot where I'm gonna try to stop trying to figure out the perfect word because you know what? Things get in the way, man. Fatigue, sleep deprivation, worry, anxiety, depression. There's a lot of things that interfere with the brain being able to operate optimally. Um, yeah, so that's it, man. So today I did a little bit of research on getting an outboard motor for the pontoon dock that I'm building, dock deck, if you will. So I just got that. It's actually here. This is very illegal, but if you can see it, it's resting right here. like I just stole it or found it, like roadkill, this side of the road. But it's designed to be able to be transported only on one side, only on one side, sideways, laterally. I think, right? Laterally, yeah. So right now it's raining. I'm a little bit worried, as I was saying. One of the things interfering with me being able to articulate myself even better than I currently am. There are not often pauses, but now I'm driving. I partook in my 6 o'clock habit, so I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed. But there's still these pangs of absolute terror and despair. I mean, it just hits me in the gut. And I've had that since the age of 11. And that's what happens, guys, when your sister's murdered and your other sister dies of AIDS. And your other sister bakes to death. And, that's what happens when you're molested at the age of 4 and stuff like that, I'm not saying this happened to me, but I am saying that that's what happens. Sometimes you turn into a bit of an anxious person. So right now, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling like these pangs. And as I was explaining to Lisa recently, when a bus driver threatened to call the police on my trailer because I had pulled over as close as I could to the curb, but unfortunately there were these Bixies and they were really interfering with the width of the street. So the bus driver, he played it cool in one way, in that he didn't try to move forward. He just waited. He was like, all right, man, my job is to go down this street, and if you're impeding that, I'm just gonna stop. And I wish I had that prerogative. I wish I could just stop things sometimes and say, hey guys, you know what? I'm sorry, I don't like you. You scare me. You're a little bit all over the place. You're erratic. I'm not feeling good. It does happen, guys, when we have over 500 clients. That's how many millions of different things that can happen that you have to adapt to. And I mean, that takes up mental energy, man. That really messes with the mental faculty. So this guy, he saw us hustling, man. We were like boom boom boom. Roman was there, the client was pulling out a couple of things. We had maybe tops 5 minutes left of work, and then the threat, and then the if you do not comply, then I will do this. And I just find that so irritating. It's like, when is that switch gonna happen where it's like, because there are people out there that are really amazing. They can really just take that anger and say, you know what, it's not useful to me right now. So right now, I'm depressed, well, a little bit, mildly, but that's because I stayed up all night. Daisy, the pug, Lisa's doing her health and safety in Toronto, so I'm stuck with, well, I guess when she's fun and it's easy to take care of her, I'm left with Daisy. But now I'm kind of stuck with her. So I'm a little bit overwhelmed. She had diarrhea yesterday. At 11 o'clock at night, I was cleaning up, mopping. It took me about 40 minutes to disinfect, and because she went into the basement where there's the cement floor, the polished, but it's not sealed yet, so I had to really try to draw out that urine, and it's just and then I hear her pitter-pattering on the steps, and that can only mean one thing: she's descending again into the basement, but this time at around 2 in the morning. So I'm yelling out, Daisy, Daisy, because hey, guess what? Another fun thing. I have a patella femoral, and unfortunately, I just damaged like my hamstring or the torn meniscus or whatever, man. I didn't kick. I pushed abruptly on a trunk, trying to disengage it where I had cut with this chainsaw on Saturday. There's a video of that as well. And but you already know that because y'all watch all my videos. So that's the thing, man. You know, I was like, damn, I'm in pain. I'm stuck with Daisy and her poopiness. And it happened again at 6, so I didn't get much sleep. You know, I'm trying to take care of my 16-year-old and his girlfriend's there. And I'm trying to be chill. I'm trying to not let crap get to me so that doesn't come out too much. It always comes out. I always look intense before I partake in my 6 o'clock tradition. Case in point. But prior to that, no, I'm really intense, man. You know, for me, it's like, this isn't fun and games. It's my livelihood. If I don't attend to my business, who the fuck is gonna do that in my stead? No one. So if I don't follow up, if I don't take notes, if I don't track stuff, if I don't text guys to work, if I don't track whether or not somebody has paid me, if I don't go and drive from Wentworth North 130 kilometers away in the rain towards Montreal after I picked up my Mercury outboard for $1,800. Oh, Jesus, man. Now I'm collecting money from my guys. I'm checking up on whether or not a marble table is still in my storage, because people are going to need to access the boxes upon which the marble table is leaning gently, slightly, at a bit of a diagonal. And this lady, Jules, and I never felt comfortable calling her Jules. That's too nicknamey. It's too intimate. I like to disconnect, you know, like professionalism, I've come to discover at 51 years of age, is very comforting. It does allow for that separation. And sometimes some people, they may want to manipulate. They may want to say, hey, hey, mon chum, mon ami, hey, comment ça va? Oh, ouais. Check, je voulais savoir si tu peux me faire une faveur, you know, kind of thing. And it's like, ugh. So people who are anxious in life, they tend to not feel comfortable with those types of people. There's something off about them. And so one of the things I pride myself on is people tell me, they say, Erickson, you know what, you come across like you're trustworthy. So let me circle back to this marble table. In all of this, by the way, this blog, if you will, is a result of me feeling that it's not the fact that the marble table is in the storage. It's not that, and it hasn't supposed to have been. That's right. It should not have been since at least 3 weeks. A little bit more on that later if I can remember. So this marble table, I don't care that it's there. I understand the bus driver's upset. He's blocked. What I hate is when people are oblivious towards other people who are trying. They're trying. My sister died of AIDS in jail because of needles she was the real deal, man. Like, she was a real stone-hearted, cold-hearted, stone-hearted criminal, man. Like guns, like, argh! And I see her in prison, and sometimes she'd be put in isolation that people now are debating is not humane. So, what a life, eh? So, yeah. I don't feel good around people that are sketchy. I don't feel good about people that decide that they're going to say they're going to do something and then they don't. They just dismiss you. And so in this case, the marble table, this lady, Jules, had reached out to me and told me she heard good things about me and she was sure she was in good hands. And at one point, she asked if I could move her out at a particular point in time. And I thought about it. I asked my guys, who I respect, and it was during an intense period that she wanted, like at the end of the month, and I said, no, man, there's no way that I'm going to subject my guys to a big ass marble table, which is what she had. It weighs at least, I would say, good 400 pounds, and that's dense, right? And you got to hold it like in a very, like, it's all concentrated in about 3 inches of thickness. Just all that energy, all that weight going downwards. So it's hard to grasp. You have to bend your back, and it's just hell. It's hell. And also there was apparently some manipulation that was required in the elevator, which wasn't of an adequate size, adequate for the table at least. So things had to be finagled. So the guys did it, and we got it into storage. And I had to move it at one point with a big dude, Eve, a Haitian. Got adopted as a youngster. So this dude, man, he's got arms the size of my thighs, and he and I are having difficulties tossing it over. It's like, what the hell? So apparently this lady, her friend, was gonna come and get it, the table, and the movers arrived, and I don't know if it was in trying to load it up or trying to offload it that they had issues at the offload destination. All I know is it came back and they quit. Now, going back to Jules remarking that I'm someone that she can depend on, not only did I do the right thing and ask my guys, and when they told me they didn't want to do it at the end of the month, I told Jules that we can only do it, like, say, on the 4th, a couple of days after the beginning of the month, when things get a little slower. The guys would have had a chance to recuperate now at that point for at least 48 hours. And so I just decided, okay, let's go for it. Yeah, hey, Jules, we can do it on this day. Okay, thank you, Erickson. And all the while, she was telling me, I might get lucky. The table might disappear. I might sell it. A friend might come get it. No one wanted this thing. So here we are, stuck with it. We're stuck with it. And we're still stuck with it. Movers have given up on it. Donations have fallen through. No one wants this thing. Nobody wants it. So I don't know, man. What did I do wrong here? What did I do wrong? I accepted this contract. I entered into an agreement with someone in good faith, and despite all of my obstacles and all of my struggles, I committed and I fulfilled everything. I went above and beyond. I did shit that other people weren't able to do. Okay? Like, you gotta brag when it's worth it and when it's necessary to make people aware. It's like, hey man, we did what other people clearly weren't able or willing to do. And I asked Jules, I texted her, I emailed her or something, and I said, hey Jules, I was just wondering if the table has been removed. At first I texted her friend. Friend told me to address. She said she didn't know, and she suggested I ask Jules. I did. And Jules like, oh, I'm not too sure what happened. I don't know if that was, yeah, no, it was. Let's backtrack a little bit. So before that conversation, she's asking me, this is how I found out that the other movers bailed. she's asking me, hey, Erickson, are you interested in taking care of this table? Or her friend called me. And at first I was like, yeah, maybe I'll try to help out in some capacity. But then I remembered how heavy it was, and I said, look, I don't feel comfortable with this. We got into storage. We emptied your apartment. That's what was necessary. And now, come on, let's move on to something different, right? Let's move on to something different. It's now just a little bit of a headache. But now, why is it my headache? Why? Because of Sisyphus. Look it up. It's very intriguing. Is that my boulder to bear? Do I need to constantly struggle? Even when I'm tending to my dying dog, he's got like maybe 3 days left. He's got a cancer and tumor, and he's lost a lot of weight. And I look at him and I listen to him breathing. That's also on my YouTube channel, Jules, if you've made it this far. So I don't understand, man. I don't understand why a bus driver feels he needs to call the cops. Maybe he's been in too many situations like that, and he's been reprimanded. It's in his docket, whatever. It's dossier. I don't know, man. All I know is that I did the right thing, and here I am, feeling like, hey, I was dismissed. That sucks.